And now we're going to take a closer look at editing our different types of ecosystems and moving objects back and forth between both our global and our material based. So I'm going to go ahead and just add in a couple of simple terrains. Just going to reposition our camera a little. I'm going to change this to move and just move our terrain over. I'm going to go ahead and add another and move this over to the right. So now we have two different terrains in our scene. And first what I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and switch our viewports. And I'm also going to open up our view a little on the main camera view and just change this to CinemaScope. And click OK. And on the top view we can see our two different terrains. And what I want to do is just open up our painting panel really quick. And we're just going to let's add the royal maple tree. Got this set to single instance. And I want to go ahead and click just to check our size. You can see that's a little large, so I'm going to go ahead and reduce that. Click again. We can see it's much smaller. Undo. Let's try around 0.4 and click. And maybe just a tiny bit smaller. And 0.282 should be good. So I'm going to go ahead and undo that. Now we're going to select our brush. I'm going to give us a large brush radius. I'm going to reduce our brush flow just a little. And I also want to turn off airbrush style. And I'm going to reduce our brush flow just a little bit more. Maybe adjust our radius. And then I'm just going to go ahead and paint in here a small area. And we just have a little bit of a display error here. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out. And it looks like everything still looks alright. We have some very large trees and a dense cluster on the side over here. And now we're going to move over to our second terrain we created, which is actually terrain 3 in this case, and our first one was named terrain 2. I'm just going to open up our advanced material editor. We're going to change this to an ecosystem. I'm going to go to our general tab, add a plant, and this time we're going to add our plum trees. And I'm going to reduce our scale to 0.6 and click populate. So now our scene has both a global ecosystem and a material-based ecosystem. And within this material-based ecosystem, I can also click on paint. And if I wanted to, I could brush in some more objects. In this case, the plum tree. So I could go ahead and just click a little in there and add some more. What we could also do is use this to adjust our color of our material-based ecosystem and even our scale. So we have a lot of different options when working with both of these different types. And I'm just going to go ahead and close this out right now. But one thing to keep in mind is that every time you hit populate, it's going to remove whatever it is that you've painted. So painting is one thing that you want to do last after you've made sure that you have your material-based ecosystem populated and the way you want it. So then once that is complete, you'll want to go and then you can make your painting changes. But otherwise, once you click populate, if you make any changes in these panels, what's going to happen is it's just going to remove pretty much everything that you've painted. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK right now. And I'm going to deselect our object. And we're going to go up to our instance selector, our ecosystem selector. And I'm just going to select a few objects in our top view from our global ecosystem. And you can see there's just that small display error with our brush, but we're still able to effectively select these areas. And also, if we select over here, we can select both a material-based and the global ecosystem. So those objects can be selected together, manipulated together, and edited together. But what I'm going to do right now is, since we have both of these selected, what I can easily do is, let's say I want to transfer some of these objects from our global ecosystem over here on the left, and just go ahead and select Manipulate. We can go Move Instances To, and now we can see that we have our default terrain 3 in there, which is our material-based ecosystem. So if we want, we can go ahead and just move these instances over to that terrain. Just go ahead and move those over. We can go ahead and close this out. And now I'm going to open up our painting, once again, our ecosystem painter, and I'm just going to clear. And now our entire painted and global ecosystem has been removed, and all of these objects are now linked directly to our material-based ecosystem.